Welcome back to part 2 of the Canyon Sunrise tote bag tutorial. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, be sure to start there. That's where we began working the body of the bag and establish the stitch pattern. In this video, we'll finish the body of the tote and add the straps. By the end of this tutorial, the crochet portion of your bag will be complete. Let's finish this beautiful tote together. We are going to switch colors again back to Canyon Sunset. So bring your hook through the first stitch and pull up your loop with the new color and then chain 1. So for row 19, you will double crochet all around. I will meet you at the end of this round. Slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. So for this row, we're going to be doing front post double crochet again all around. I will meet you at the end of this round. Slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. For round 21, we double crochet around. I will meet you at the end of the row. Slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. For round 22, we will do front post, back post all around. and I will meet you at the end of the row. Slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. For round 23 we will double crochet all around. And I will meet you at the end of the row. Slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. For round 24 we will do a front post double crochet all around. And I will meet you at the end of the row. Slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. For round 25 we will double crochet all around. And I will meet you at the end of the row. The main part of the bag is done, so next we will be working on the top rim and the handles. So slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. So for the next 4 rows you will simply be doing a single crochet around. So I will meet you at the end of row 29. Let's start with the handles. Slip stitch into the first stitch chain 1. Now you will single crochet in the next 14 stitches. Next, you're going to chain 50. Now you're going to skip 19 stitches from the beginning of the chain . And then you will slip stitch into the 20th stitch, so the next stitch. Now make sure that your chain is straight. Now you will do 28 single crochets in the next 28 stitches. Make sure you start in the stitch where you attached your chain. And I will meet you again when you've completed the 28 single crochets. So next you're going to chain 50 again. When you're done your chain 50, you will again skip 19 stitches . And insert your hook in the 20th stitch and slip stitch into it. Once again, make sure your chain is nice and straight. Now starting in the same stitch, single crochet 14. I will meet you at the end of the 14 stitches, and that will also be the end of this round. Slip stitch into the first single crochet and chain 1. Single crochet in the first 14 stitches . And you will now work a single crochet in the front loop only of each chain of the chain 50. Slip stitch into the first stitch, chain 1. Now single crochet all around the bag, including the handles, and I will meet you again at the end of this round. When you get to the end of the row, this is what it should look like. And for row 32, you will simply crochet all around the bag again a second time. And I will meet you at the end of row 32. Slip stitch into the first single crochet, pull through, and then you can cut your yarn. Next, we will reinforce the handles. Attach the yarn at the base of the handle, that's at the beginning of the skipped 19 stitches. Then you will single crochet 19 across the bag, then single crochet 50 across the handle, and slip stitch to the first single crochet. Repeat this round a second time. Slip stitch in the first stitch of the round, pull your yarn through, and you can finish it off. Weave in all your loose ends to finish your bag.